drop off at the mill and get back here before the harvester completes it or is full. Doubt it'll be full. And we're talking, oh no, we're not talking to 4 carts, we're talking just under 4 full loads or in the grain hopper. Okay. You can see there where I wasn't driving very straight, or I wasn't driving at the right angle. So my farmer friend has started harvesting his beans. Actually, he's harvesting his neighbour's beans at the moment, because his neighbour's beans are more ready than his are. We are reaching that time of year when it's time for the soybeans to come up. Am I going to make that turn? I'm not making that turn this time. Okay. He was saying his son was out in the field all morning, but he had to drive to Ohio to get some parts for the harvester. And so he'd spent all morning driving down to Ohio and back, because that was the closest place that had John Deere parts for harvesters, or at least the parts he was looking for. But he was going to head back and get the second harvester up and running. Might have been Thursday. Okay. I could lift up the header or not. And this looks like it's definitely less than 18 foot too. So single pass, we're done here. Actually, this might be a little bit of a struggle. Bear left a little. And it looks like we got it all. Lift that up. So 3,400 litres. I don't think that's going to be a full car. Might be. I don't think it is. It's close enough though. We will be, that's perfectly adequate to run as a full load. And oh, actually it was full load. Okay. Put that back in. And we are running at 269-ish helper run. And I'll catch a ride until we catch up to the tractor. Get in the wrong side. Okay. Okay, back to the grain mill again. Come on. And the Fendt has AI worker H. Field 131. Don't know what the AI. Oh, AI is. There's probably AI. Trying to figure out what it's all telling me. But it does now mean that I can see how full the harvester is, or grain carts or whatever, so long as I leave the engine running. I think for about the third or fourth time this week, Miss Osa is gonna get woken up. Alrighty. Of course, this is going to be loud now because we have the production on. Of course, we won't get credit for oats yet. We are 78% transported, so that's actually less to transport than last time. And fields, I think the field's bigger, but the grain is less dense. I didn't look to see if the trailer was 100% full or whether it was weight limited. I think, as I said, the only crop I found that is weight limited on this trailer is wheat. And here we are back again. Oh. Which way is the fastest? That way. So I think again I'm going to take over from the worker as soon as we hit the end. I left the tractor running. Isn't good for servicing, but it does tell me how full it actually. I don't need to know how full it is because it isn't. You can stop there. He nearly did a reverse turn, which kind of not a good plan. Now get the third headland along here because we don't have much of a grass verge on the left anymore. Already up to 42% full on the grain cart, or on the grain tank. I'm not sure how many fields I actually fertilised this year on contract. I know I did a fair few, but I don't think this is one of them. Don't know if any of those were either, but I think we get a yield bonus if I do the fertilising contracts. So long as we get enough to get paid, that's good. That's one of the reasons why I had to run. Was it one of the reasons I had to? No, it's one of the reasons I had to remove the enhanced contract mod a couple of months back. Was because we were not yielding enough to complete the grain contracts with it installed. But I needed it installed to produce enough grass to complete a baling contract. That was kind of annoying. An example of contracts and maps, or mods and maps not playing well together. Fortunately, Cavalier Roy has been fairly good to us. He visits occasionally and lets us in on a map update that fixes issues, usually that we've already found. But at the moment, the only concern I have is the mod that makes this map Maze Plus friendly. Because that's kind of the major thing that's absolutely stopping me from installing Maze Plus at this point. I will probably need to find some time during the week to take a copy of this game save, install Maze Plus, and then mess around and see what changes, so that we don't mess up the actual save. I won't do too much if I do that. It's just enough to know it doesn't completely foobar everything. And then we can learn stuff as we go. I don't mind discovering things during a session. What I don't need is the game getting completely messed up. And talking about that, let's do a save. Because that was a thing last week where the game just crashed out suddenly. And fortunately I had pretty much just saved, transferred the equipment over to a new field, and then it crashed. So I had to reload, and I just completed what I was doing in the field I was doing it in. And Miss Osa out for the rest of the morning and part of the afternoon, and I don't think either of them had breakfast, so I figure in about 20-30 minutes they're going to be wishing they'd had breakfast, because that's usually how things work out for them. I tend to be of the, well, you chose not to have breakfast, it's kind of your fault you're hungry. Oh, oh, this looks... wow. Either this header is a little bit wider than 18 foot, or oh my goodness, that was really well timed, or really well placed. I think we're going to have to turn around. Okay, get that all unloaded. Again, I'll drop the header off before I fold the harvester up. So the harvester does have a little bit more altitude on the header when it's unfolded. So there's less getting stuck on the trailer. Of course, actually, not quite so easy. We're going to have to turn this thing around. You don't actually have to turn the header trailer around. The trailer will auto attach to the header will auto attach to the trailer, whatever orientation it's in. It's just not quite so realistic if you put it on the wrong way. Okay, let's pull that forward. Do my usual trick. We'll lower the header onto the trailer and release it, and it usually beams back into place quite efficiently. Fold that down, turn that off. This piece of equipment doesn't seem to do it, but some pieces of equipment, if you leave them in reverse and then get out, turn them off, they will sit there and beep at you. That harvester only seems to beep if it's in reverse and you have the throttle pressed. So how are we doing? It's coming up to 9 o'clock game time. I should probably speed up the time a bit while I'm doing country. I mean, I don't know. Part of the issue is if I'm doing baling contracts, I kind of need all of the time. Harvesting contracts, not so much. And I shouldn't be doing 100 contracts in a month, because it's contracts, it's not my farm, and obviously it's the best way to make money where we're at the moment. But alrighty, so we should now get credit for contracts there. 4,900. So again, about 2,000 litres of oats. What does that look like? About 2,000 litres of oats. So we'll turn that on. Now, one slight risk here is we could end up with 1,000 litres of flour before too long, and that's going to get in the way of us tipping. But we can now claim that contract done. And because contracts disappear once they're complete, if you save and exit the game, the same is true if the game crashes. So since I don't want to lose that income, and I don't want a penalty for not delivering stuff, we are going to complete contracts as we go. So less inclined to use contract equipment for harvesting contracts. Hopefully, this particular bug will be eliminated in about 3-4 weeks. I am expecting a game update just before the Platinum DLC drops. Okay, pick a side, left or right. Gonna pick a side that it's easiest to get into. And right now it's looking like the one on the left is easiest to get into. So, maybe. Wow. Alrighty. No idea where I am or which way I'm facing, but we are in this field. Okay. How do we get into that field then? Lots of trees. Okay, not there. Oh, is this... No, not over here either. That must be that field. I think this field here has an entrance on the far side opposite the store. This one, I'm guessing we have to go up to the farm in order to get into it. But we'll run across the road here. And I'll grab the Land Rover first. Because I kind of need to make sure the header is positioned before we try and take the harvester in. I guess once we've done these two, we can probably head over to our yard and get the canola cut. That seems to be probably the best plan at the moment. I think that is good. What I'm thinking here is if I drive past the field entrance and then reverse into the field, that should position me exactly right for the header. Yeah. I'm definitely seeing here we would not be... running a harvester with doubles would be a very bad plan on this map. It's one of the reasons why I kind of want to avoid semi-trailers as well. Okay, let's unfold that. And that gets us pointing exactly the right direction to grab that header, go chop some stuff. Oops, I think I might have just broke something. This is this barley again? I think it might be. I mean, this harvesting contract, it's not making a huge dent. We're already on 1.4 hours on the harvester, so that will have changed. Vehicle leasing, it's costing us about 5,000 per hour for the header and the harvester. Probably not the trailer, because we're not using that 100% of the time. But this, I mean, the harvester's a cost for us, and there's no way about there's no way to mitigate that. We have to rent a harvester because we don't have one, and we need to get our crops cut. So something needs to happen. Either I need to buy a really small harvester, which we're going to be replacing within a year or two, or I can rent a harvester now and make more from it. Yeah, do what I have to, and then let it go. Take a second. Actually, I am going to look at money income from contracts. How we do? See, contract income's 5,900, so we've pretty much covered 1 hour of harvester use. And if we hadn't done the contracts, we wouldn't have burnt up an hour of harvester use. So, you know, choose your poison. I mean, one advantage here is we are generating stuff that makes more flour. So that might work out in our favour when we actually get round to selling the bonus crop. Alrighty, let's lose that. And a bit of a little bit tight there. Manoeuvring shenanigans. I'm not too worried about that little dog leg at the back there. We'll get that as we complete the second headland, because that's kind of a tight turn, so we're going to be cutting through and reversing. Kind of like here, I think. We should cut through and reverse. So again, this field not a good square field. Although it looks like this is the longest edge. So I'll probably end up doing a cut across here somewhere. Actually, we're filling up fairly fast, so I'm definitely guessing this is more barley. I don't think that wheat has the little whiskers on the icon. But barley is the lowest value, least... Is it least dense? I can't remember. High value, low density, low value, high density. Yeah, this is the most dense crop. Best crop if you want to feed animals. So if you've got a choice between feeding your chickens barley